Hey you guys, I don't know how great this video is going to be because I have 4 children that are all awake and being loud, and I just need to get this video filmed. Also, I just got out of the shower, so I have like all of my lotions and potions on me, but no makeup, and so I'm sure that I look, you guys are used to seeing me like this, it's fine. Okay, so I wanted to share with you our materials that we used for the 3 days that we spent speaking about ferns and horsetails within our botany unit. It only took 3 days. You could definitely make it longer than this. Honestly, you could probably also cut it down into like 1 day if you really wanted to. But I'm going to show you what we used with the exception of one book, because my daughter has grown attached to this book, and she takes it. Sometimes it's out in their play cabin outside. Sometimes it ends up in like one of the hammocks outside or in her bed. I mean, she's always like I can't find it. But it is The Story of the Root Children. It is such a cute story. It's really great for if you're talking about seasons, if you're talking about gardening. And we read it within this 3-day time period of study. It's not necessarily about ferns, but we used it during this time. Okay, so let me get into the books. Then we'll do the kind of like the work, the artwork, the writing, and then I'll show you some of the other like fun activities. Okay, so the first book is plants. We've used this a little bit throughout this whole entire big unit study, but there is some questions in here about ferns, and so that got utilized pretty well. We also used the DK Smithsonian World in Pictures, Trees, Leaves, Flowers, and Seeds. There's a good portion in here on ferns, non-flowering plants. Actually, it's a whole section on non-flowering plants. And so there is moss in here as well, and liverwort, hornwort. But we use this to discuss ferns and to discuss horsetails. Some really good true pictures, which is nice. Ferns would be a fun way to kind of guide talking about plants or botany into like a mini dinosaur unit if you wanted to as well, which actually our next unit study, we're going to start talking about like dinosaurs. We're going to talk about the Ice Age. We're going to talk about evolution, early man, prehistory. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm sure we'll bring up ferns again within that unit. We also used the Amateur Naturalist by Gerald Durrell. This isn't like, what's the word that I don't want to use? Like highly inspiring, but both the pages, well, all of the pages that we read about mushrooms were fantastic during our mushrooms unit. There's some good stuff on aquatic plants in here. And I swear I will find ponds, coniferous woodlands, pine barrens. That's actually, we're going to be using that here. Like this is the fungi page. I mean, you can see really nice pictures, some good little bits of information, and a nice index that you can turn to for looking at very specific things. So this book is older. There might be newer, funner, more colorful, newer, more fun and more colorful books that you could find at this point, but we've had this one for quite some time, and I really do like it, and I wish I could find the pages on ferns, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to. Let's see, what pages did 292 and 293 we used? Okay, here. Okay, yes. So here's some pages that we used. Now, you'll see there's no pictures. However, it really compares and goes through what classifies something as mosses and liverworts, club mosses, horsetails, ferns, and conifers. And so we use this within this unit. And then of course we use my Light of Education Botany. Not heavily, you could do without this. Don't go and buy the 5th year curriculum just for this. I had already purchased it. My oldest went through the 5th year live education, but we never did the botany or one other one, and actually we didn't get to the geometry one until last year. So I bought the 5th year for this, and we just kept not getting to it, and so I'm using it because I have it, but you definitely don't need it. We used the pages on Horsetails and Ferns, which look like this. There's really good like inspiration for some pictures. There's really good inspiration for some dictation or some copy work, and there's some nice main lesson sort of activities. We also got into this lesson on drawing plants, which we're actually going to continue through this lesson as we get in, now that we're talking about trees and leaves and all of that. So what are you doing, bud? Be quiet, okay? So yes, so that's how we kind of utilized that. And then, oh, this one is one I mentioned in my fungi video. We didn't use this during this 3 days because we had already read it with our fungi lessons, but there is oh my goodness, there's more than mushrooms in this book. Like there's, I told you my kids are acting crazy. Ferns and lichen and mosses all in this book. So I figured it was worth a mention. Nature anatomy, of course, we used. There's good information on ferns in here. And there's also the anatomy of a fern page, which I like. And then we use the ABCs book, which I've showed, I think, in my other little videos in this series. Okay. Where was I? Oh, so we used a lot of the pages in here. They had some good pictures of horsetails and some ferns, and there's club mosses in here as well. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there was quite a few pages on ferns. I think we read all of these. We may not have read every little segment, but we read a lot of them because each little segment you see has like a little question that it's discussing for that. So we used this. And then what else? I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, here, the Botanical Book. This has been a staple within this whole botany unit study. There are pages in here, of course, on ferns and horsetails and club mosses. And so we utilized these pages here. And this one as well. Okay, let me go get their like artwork. Okay, so we did some ferns and horsetail artwork outside of this. What did I do with those? We did a piece of artwork on ferns and horsetails, and I don't have it here, but I have this one. We did the anatomy of a fern. This is my 5-year-old's. So we did that, which was fun. And then we also did a ferns and horsetails writing exercise. Now, for this particular writing exercise, I didn't have them go through and copy exactly what was in the live education. I just had them copy like 1 or 2 sentences out of it, and then they drew a picture. And so there's that. And then something else, we did a few activities. Let me get those out. Okay, so I have pictures of some of this stuff on my Instagram that'll give you a better look at some of these things. But we did sun prints. This is a sun print kit. I happened to get this one from Acorn Naturalist. I've seen them other places. They also have like a really big deluxe one. I just have this little guy. Basically, it comes with sun print paper, and then it comes with this acrylic like block. And you put like a cardboard down, then you put your sun print paper with the blue side up, down, and then you put down whatever it is you're trying to make a sun print of, and then you put your acrylic sheet on top. I have a fern in the backyard, so we did fronds of a fern, and that was a lot of fun. It comes with plenty, like you only need one. So that was a really fun activity. We also played the End of the Forest game. I think I mentioned this in my last video in this series because we've played this for a lot of our lessons. And then this one I know I talked about, but we use this as well in talking about ferns and horsetails. Was this, it's this forest in a box. It's 20 dried specimens for classroom study. This is from Nature Watch. Basically in here, just in case you haven't seen the other videos in this series, I'll go ahead and show you. Hold on. Basically you have little samples of things from the forest and a little card that says what they are and explains them. For the most part, it's all truly the item. There's only one thing that says it was a replica, which is the egg. But everything else is like truly what it says it is. So here is the little fern one. So there is that. Then as far as videos go, and movies, we watched a Pacific Northwest foraging video on YouTube. We also watched a variety of fern time lapses, which were cool to watch. A lot of fern time lapses and a lot of like spore videos of like spores releasing like super high def where you could see it. So that was really cool. And then we watched Fern Gully, which truly doesn't really have a whole lot to do with actual ferns, but why not, right? So that is what we did. Those are the materials we used and kind of how I went about talking about ferns and horsetails within this unit study. I wish I had the ferns and horsetails artwork to show you guys. I basically just gave them, we use a lot in our homeschool lately, these Micron pens. They look like this. You can get these Blick Art Supplies, Hobby Lobby. I'm sure Michael's has them. You might be able to get them at Walmart. I'm not sure. Probably Amazon, I would imagine. We have them in a variety of different sizes. And they come in different sizes, in different colors. We have all of ours are black because we use these for line work in our artwork. We also sometimes use these Faber-Castell Art Pit artist pens, but not nearly as much. We really like these Micron pens because this is archival ink. And like I said, we have all the different sizes. So this is like a 12. Are you able to see that? Probably not very well. I do like the whole thing where I hold my hand. So there's the 12. And then you can see like, here's, let me find one that's gonna be a lot different than the 12. Here is the 003. And you can see, I mean, really, really big difference in the nib or the point on the actual pen. So we like these for different line works. We have them in a variety of sizes, and like I honestly, if I see these on sale, I usually just grab them because more often than not, you know, we lose these to like some end up in my boys' rooms. They get taken, you know, out of the schoolroom. And so, and there's also some sizes that like we just use a lot. Like I tend to really like the 05 size. My older son tends to really like the 10 and the 12 and the 8. He likes the larger nib whenever he's doing line work. And so they come in packs where you have a variety of sizes. I think they have like that you can buy them single by themselves. You can buy them in a 3-pack or a 5-pack most often is what I see. And so sometimes they're marked down at Hobby Lobby, and you can get good prices on them at Blick Art Supplies. So we really like these. So we use these a lot in combination with either watercolor or watercolor pencils, which are just colored. They look like colored pencils. And so you draw what you're going to draw. And then when you add water to them with a brush, they, you know, it's watercolor. The color kind of spreads and they kind of look more like a watercolor. We tend to use those a lot. We don't as often use actual watercolor in our homeschool anymore. I still have it. I love the look of it. My kids just aren't huge fans of it right now. They much prefer using alcohol marker. We have Cali Art, we have Ohuhu, and we have some Copic. I would caution you against buying the Copic if you have younger kids because they are expensive, and it's like kind of heartbreaking if, you know, your kid ruins one of them. The plus side is with the Copic, you can buy them like singly pretty easily, but they're like, I mean, they can be up to like $8 a marker. So I would say don't get those if you have little kids, or if you don't grab them like on a great deal or a sale. We happen to have like the skin tone pack that was, I think, $22. It wasn't Prime Day because Prime Day is like today. I mean, we've had them for a long time, but not quite a year. So I don't remember what the sale was exactly on Amazon, but we happened to snag a 5-pack of them for, I think, $22 or $24, somewhere around there. And so we have like a skin tone pack. And then we have a couple Copic markers that I think I ended up like kind of inheriting or like ending up with from my little sister. She like was into pens and stationery and stuff. She still is, but she does a lot of digital planning. But for a while, she was like super into like all kinds of pens and stationery. And so they were always laying around my mom's house. And then, you know, when we would move, the military would have us moving from place to place, and we'd end up at my parents' house for a period of time while we were waiting for a house or whatever. And then in Jacksonville for a little while, actually for a year, my parents and my brother lived in our house while they were waiting for their house to be ready. My parents were waiting for their house to be ready, and my brother hadn't found a place yet. So there's been situations where we've ended up like with my mom and my sister's things. And so we've ended up with Copic markers that I know I didn't buy. But anyways, so I find that the Ohuhu, the Cali Art markers are very similar in quality. You can get a huge pack of them for a good price, considering how many you're getting. And my kids love them. They have been like loving those markers. They are really great. You can really like build the color with them. You can blend with them really well. I think all of the packs that we've gotten at this point have come with like a clear blending marker, and my 12-year-old really likes I have a 5-year-old now that's like over me filming. So yes, we've been using a lot of those with our artwork. So they did a bigger work of a fern, and I don't know what I'm gonna end this video and I'll end up finding them.
Hey guys, look!
You look great. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope these are helpful in figuring out what you can use to kind of talk about different things within the topic or the category of botany with your kids.